I'm Meredith Sue Willis, and I think I'm here because I was a Villager of the Month once a while ago. I'm not sure, but you're just collecting these as a general background on South Orange, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, you could also, if you remember what you got your Villager of the Month award for, that would be nice too. Do you remember when it was?
I don't remember. I mean, it's been 5 or 6 years. It was a while ago. I'm a 27-year resident of South Orange.
Wow.
And my biggest involvement for the last 16 or 17 years has been with the South Orange-Maplewood Community Coalition on Race. I was one of the founding members of that, and I'm still on the board of trustees of that organization, and have worked very hard with that. I'm a writer and a teacher. I go into New York and teach at NYU, and I publish novels and short stories and books about writing. My husband and I have we raised our only son here. He got his entire public school education in South Orange-Maplewood. He went to Clinton School, South Orange Middle School, and Columbia High School. He graduated. Now he's has just gotten his PhD, so he's a successful graduate of the school system. But as I say, the thing that I have spent most of my time working on as a citizen of the town has been this idea of how do you keep a community integrated, racially integrated. And it turns out it's not as easy as one would think. When I first moved here, I didn't want to come to New Jersey. I was living in Brooklyn. And we came out here and we're driving around, and I was saying, I don't want to live in the suburbs, And then it was very beautiful in South Orange, and I saw under a tree 3 boys just tossing the ball back and forth. They weren't even playing organized good. And one of them was white, and one was African American, and one was Asian. And I thought, oh, so perfect. And that was when I began to really love the way these communities looked. It turned out that even though that's accurate, and there have always been a really interesting mix of people, both racially and ethnically, in these communities, and I do say these communities because of the shared school system. South Orange and Maplewood are very, very closely tied. It turns out that in spite of that, the way it looked, and in spite of all the friendships, in spite of all the diversity, there were some negative things happening. And the negative things were people saying certain parts of town were only for certain races, certain parts of town were better. And it was a real kind of unpleasant whispering campaign, which you only, you didn't feel it to walk through town because it's so beautiful with the trees and the buildings and the lovely homes and everything. But there was something not nice happening. And what is great about South Orange is that people don't just quietly give up or run away here. It's a real town where people do something. Sometimes that's a problem. Sometimes they do too much and they are too noisy. But in this case, people organize. The 2 towns, their governments, ask certain volunteers, neighborhood people to join together, and they formed an organization and actually hired an expert in integration, in case you didn't even know there was such a thing. It was a man who had worked in other communities around the United States, and he helped us begin to think of ways, specific things you can do to make integration work continuously. There used to be a saying in the United States that integration was the moment, this is really ugly, that integration was the moment between when the first black family moved in and the last white family moved out. So the idea was that if black people moved into a community, the white people immediately moved out. Now, I'm not quite sure what that says to all the people of other mixed backgrounds or other ethnic backgrounds, but that's what they used to say, and that was what we didn't want to have happen. We wanted this community to be a place that would be a community of choice for people of all races, all ethnic groups, all everythings. Excuse me. And we did a lot of positive things. We gave people who were thinking about moving tours of the two towns, and they still do that. Free tours. You see the whole town with a neighbor and learn about it. Not a realtor, just a person. We also did a little bit of realtor testing. That's when you attend two families or two people of the same education, financial background, but of different races to the same realtor, and you see if they show the same housing. And most, in fact, all of the local realtors were very good about welcoming everybody. There were some out-of-town realtors who were actually steering. They were sending white families one direction, black families another direction. So we worked on that a little bit. We worked in the schools. There's a question in our community of the racial academic achievement gap. There's a gap between in general, not an individual student, about some of the, if you, there's a famous saying that if you walk into Columbia High School, at least in the past, you could walk up to a classroom and look in the door and tell if it was an advanced class or a lower level class based on the race of the students in there. And it was never absolute. It was always mixed. And there always were all kinds of kids. But that's another thing that we have been looking to change, to challenge the kids at the bottom levels, academic levels, and to bring them up to the level they can all be taking the very best courses, because it's a super school system with incredible resources. And the question is how to make sure everybody gets those resources. And it turns out all these different things, some of them are fun things like having festivals, some of them were bringing in speakers and having big discussions. All of those are things that help to make a community stay integrated. In the last couple of years, we've been focusing on inclusion and true integration, meaning not just that people live in houses next to each other, but that they actually socialize and actually get to know one another, and so we've been moving in that direction. So it's been an incredible journey to work on this and to see success in many areas, to see areas that still need a lot of work. I've been very active in this and have enjoyed it enormously. Made a lot of friends I would not have made otherwise. And it's just been a really good experience. And that, of course, is on top of all the usual great things about South Orange. That it's lovely, and it's got a nice swimming pool, and beautiful parks, and a terrific library system. You can go on and on.
Thank you so much for that. That was awesome. It's nice to actually meet someone who's actively trying to keep the community integrated. That's amazing.
No, I think it's actually been very successful. We've had good luck. The Midtown Direct was a big help because it actually property values rose when the Midtown Direct came in. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure.
When I first moved here, the only way you could get into New York City by train was to go to Hoboken and then take the PATH train, which I still do to go to NYU.
Right.
But people now, since I think 2006, 5, I'm not sure the year, since that time, you can now get on a train that takes you straight to Penn Station.
Yeah.
So the minute that went in, it was like property values rose. So, there's been good fortune, there've been terrifically good people, good things have happened, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey and a great experience to live here.
Well, thank you for being a part of this awesome community and making it better.
Thank you very much.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Have a great day.